That would be too controversial. So do I have an idea of which players you like and those you aren't happy with? No, I don't. I answer far too honestly when I'm doing press conferences. I have confidence in my players, apparently. What do you see as the strongest area? I'm goalkeeper. Okay. He's the guy from Liverpool, right? Okay. So I'm a goalkeeper. What can I expect in the transfer market? Try to make sure any signings are considered and well thought out. So Nikas Soulantis may be leaving the club, but the chance of him keeping? I want to keep him around. I want to keep him? Yeah. Can I keep him? Yeah? Okay, I'll keep him. They reckon I'm looking at Leandro. Are you prepared to go on record? Now, I won't be discussing any transfer stories today. And there you go, press conference is over. Sometimes they come back to me on that question. Now, I've got a match here against my under-21s. This is the first game that I'm playing. And this is a behind closed doors friendly. But this allows me to show you the tactics creator for the first time. Now this is something else that's brand new for Football Manager. Well, it would have been brand new for Football Manager 2010 had we not released it in Football Manager Live first. One of the good things about having two games with separate development teams is we can actually try things out in Football Manager Live before they go into Football Manager. Previously, the tactics in the game, sure, most of you have played the game before, and it was all controlled by slide bars for different statistics. Now, you can still use the slide bars if you want to, but realistically, no manager goes into a dressing room before the match and goes, so today, I want you to be one notch above normal for mentality, and tackling, I want you to go in easy on all players for tackling, and want you to use a little bit more width than the other team are using. It just wouldn't happen. So he sat down, and some people in our community worked on a document that was released last year called TT&F. This document was huge. It was more like a university thesis than a guide to tactics, and it used very big words as well, which some people, including myself, didn't understand. But we sat down, and we've spoken to the community a lot about the game this year. And we sat down with those guys, or Oliver Collier, who was one of the founders of Sports Interactive, sat down with them over Skype, because they're all based all over the world. And we tried to work out how to take what they had done in their document with the knowledge that obviously we have of how the match engine works, and come up with a tactics system that was user-friendly and football-based. Not computer geeky based, but football based. So what we have now is the tactics creator. So here I would normally play a 4-4-2 formation, so I'm going to stick to that. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of choice for the basic formations that you can use. Let's start with 4-4-2. Now I set my playing philosophy. Now this will basically decide what you're telling the players to do. So you could have a very rigid style of play, and we give full descriptions for each of the options here. So with a very rigid philosophy, each player is expected to focus on a single phase of play within a very rigid system. Defenders are responsible only for the defensive phase, midfielders only for the transition phase, and forwards only for the attacking phase. The team will be expected to keep its shape at all times, playing very precise and controlled football with players allowed little creative freedom. That's not the way that I like to play football. So I'm going to go for fluid, which means that basically the players have more creative freedom and are able to play a little bit more the way that they want to play. Now you choose your playing style. So I'm going to go for shorter passing and more expressive creative freedom, and leave the others more as default. Player roles. This is something that we've had in the game previously, but is a lot more expanded now. So with goalkeepers, you can have a goalkeeper or a sweeper keeper, which is a keeper who likes to come out and hit the ball more often. For fullbacks, you can have fullbacks or wingbacks. Central defender, a ball-playing defender. So this is someone who's a central defender but is very good at passing. A limited defender, that's most of the Watford defenders. Sorry? In Greece too. Okay, should I set them? Okay, I'll set them to limited defenders then, just for you. With midfielders, wide midfielder, winger or defensive winger. Central midfielders, you can have normal standard central midfielder, a deep-lying playmaker, a ball-winning midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder, advanced playmaker, and then striker, even more options, a deep-lying forward, advanced forward, a target man, a poacher, complete forward, defensive forward, and a trequartista. So this is Football Manager 2010. You can learn things from it. Does anyone here know what a trequartista is?
Del Piero.
Sorry?
Del Piero.
Correct, yeah. It's someone who can operate in the attacking midfield or centre forward positions and will play in the hole, but they don't defend. So it's kind of, Del Piero's a good example. Carlos Tevez was mentioned yesterday, but Carlos Tevez does go back and defend. So it's kind of a Zidane-style player when Zidane was pushing forward as well. And they tend to work quite well if you're playing 5 in the midfield and you have one person sitting there who basically doesn't do much apart from set up goals. I'm going to stick to the normal things here. Player duties, you can decide whether you want the players to defend or attack or support the strikers. And then the starting strategy, so contain, defensive, counter-attack, standard, control, attacking, and overload. So with this team, because I'm playing against my under-21s, I'm going to ask them to control the match. But normally, if you're a smaller team against a big team, you'll look at counter-attacking instead. That's now set up. You can set up as many tactics as you want to and save them and switch between them very easily in the game. I'm going to let my assistant pick my team. Let's pick Kalach in goal, which I'm not having at all. So let's go and play the match. Now last year, with Football Manager 2009, we introduced a 3D match view for the first time. This year, we've massively improved on the 3D view. We have over 100 new animations. We've also improved all of the existing animations, as well as improving the artificial intelligence underneath it. And you'll see here as well, although you'll only see an empty stadium, we have stadiums as well, and I'll show you a stadium with people in it later on in the demo. We've also added an option here to ask the assistant to set opposition instructions for you. So you click on one button and it will be denoted by the little dot if any instructions have been set for that player. Let's go to the match. I missed out the team talk there, but the team talks have also been massively improved. There's loads of new options in team talks, and you can also do team talks for substitutes for the first time. So as you can see, with the stadiums inside the game, what we've done is tried to make it so that we have the right amount of seats and the right amount of terracing inside the ground. The stadiums will not look like real stadiums. We don't have the rights to do that. So we've just tried to make sure that they have the right capacity. And as you'll see later on, when you have crowds in that, the crowds are also in there accurately. Well, that's a big kick. Come on. You're taking away from the play. You should notice that the actual match itself is a lot smoother. This is just a standard dual-core laptop with a laptop graphics card. It's nothing amazing. The shadowing is much better this year as well. It's been massively improved. We also have bulging goal nets And even the linesmen have flags. The referee will hold up yellow and red cards.